Okay, greetings, greetings, greetings. Dear Libra, this is you guys. This is Tarot Illumination, providing your mini love and relationship report for December 2018 season. It's kind of a generic thing for lots of viewers. Some people take it very personally. Apparently, it works. So, anyway, I want to get kind of as much as I can. I'm going to go as quick as I can for you to get the story as compact as possible. Uh, for the regulars, please indulge me while I go through the drill for the newbies. I hope you don't mind. We're going to use the Tarot Illumination Crucible spread. It's on the understanding that there's you, Libra, a significant other, and the relationship itself, the third entity. It has its own life, meaning, purpose, energy, dynamics. And the question is, are you aware of that? Are they aware of that? Are you conducting yourself in a healthy way through the relationship? A crucible is a structure that is designed to withstand intense alchemical reactions in laboratories. And it's the same thing with human beings as we intimate and separate in the context of loving relationship. There are certain things regarding love and healing, which is the ultimate theme of Tarot Illumination, where certain types of aspects of healing can only occur in the context of an intimate relationship. You can learn it the hard way, you can learn it the loving way. Either way, it's work and it requires like deep soul commitments, okay? So with these readings, you know the routine is well. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different, and then reinterpret to suit you. And if you want to, cross-watch for significant others. Also, doing this, I would I really invite you to invite your own invisible friends, angel guides, spirit guides, guardian angels, all of that, to really soak it in and absorb the whole thing. Make it like a family event, a group effort, okay? I'll come back to the cards in a moment. I got more stuff I have to go over with you guys. Basic routine things. Please check out the links below. It's in a box below the video. Check out, very important, this new Tarot Illumination membership. We just started it. It's going to be a long-term program, and the more members we have, the better the channel works for you guys. Tarot Illumination is a very tiny, sort of boutique-y, little acquired taste type of channel, and it's doesn't fit a lot of patterns for some of the other channels, and so we're very happy to have you here. It's very much an acquired taste. Think of it as artisanal, like handcrafted small batches, okay? Please support as much as you can through Tarot Illumination membership. It's about the cost of a not fancy cup of coffee once a month, okay? First Friday group healing events. This is very, very new as well. Trying to really grow the healing aspects of Tarot Illumination, okay? And this is in person. Tarot Illumination is there in person, okay? Check out the links below. Shopping, of course. Books, the silk scarf, personal readings, new playlists for songs and stories, and the Sunday Night Live super chat mini readings, of course. And always, always the subscribes and likes. Thank you very much. Please check it all out on the links below. Thank you. A couple of notes here from the Tarot Illumination Astro Doodle. This is Tarot Illumination personal notes. I do these because we get a lot of personal readings here and I have to reference these. So I'm just sharing them with you guys in the readings. This is not designed or built for love and relationship interpretation, but I'm going to give you a couple of notes here. This is you, okay? Libra, right over here, first house, that's you. And over here is your seventh house of significant one-on-one relationship. And over here, your fifth house of like the lovey-dovey romance, fun stuff. Over here, the third house of like the playful aspects, like very nascent, young, new type of relationship energy, like when people are dating their coworkers or college sweethearts, that kind of energy. It gets stronger as we go over here, stronger as we go over here, and over here in the eighth house, of course, it becomes very deep and intimate. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this axis in particular, the relationship axis, is because that's your axis, okay? Libra is the sign of relationship. And Uranus has just started its huge journey, 7-year journey through Taurus in your 8th house of deep intimacy. But right now it's actually retrograding back into Aries. So you might be getting a lot of disruptive activities and experiences happening in your relationship as we cross over the cusp part here, 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 29 degrees, right on this moment. It can be very, very, let's say, unpredictable, especially with Uranus. It's this very strong energy, uh, like things happening spontaneously before you out of the blue without understanding, and it's happening retrograde. So you might get these flashbacks and rewinds about what you've been doing wrong in relationship and why things didn't or don't work and so on. We could go on. There's another aspect of it. It's not directly to do with love and relationship, but it is a polarity here. A couple of things. Sorry, before I get to that. Key dates. Let's go back here for a moment. Key dates. December the 6th, the new moon Sagittarius and Mercury going direct. Very, very sweet for everybody. It's very nice for you because it's happening down here in your third house of communications, speaking and listening, and just day-to-day business. So that's very sweet for you. Okay, it's a sextile, so it's very comfortable. Onwards here to the month 21st and 22nd. The sun enters Capricorn and it's the winter solstice. And within, right there, we have the full moon in Cancer. Now, technically, these are hard squares to your sun, okay? It's a very strong polarity here to your solar axis. So the end of the month might feel a little, the early part of the month might feel very much easier to handle than later in the month. Okay, and my big concern for everybody is to do with the Mars in Pisces thing and the Jupiter in Sagittarius thing. It's a big square off. It's actually here. I didn't really highlight it for you because I didn't want to stress you out about it, but I see it as the expansion of spiritual awareness through challenges to our most deeply buried secrets and wounds. So you might be feeling it in terms of health. What's happening in your health, and how is that affecting your relationships? And it's just like it's unpredictable. It's very sweet. I mean, you can't go wrong with this square, and it's very spontaneous. It's all about the idealism and beauty that comes with Neptune and Sagittarius. So let's please make the most of that. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted and sidetracked there. I want to get on with your reading. I didn't mean to go so long. Pardon me, forgive me. It's not even an astrology channel. Oh, Christ. Sorry. Sorry, I started swearing there. I hope it didn't come through, and the community guidelines don't interfere. We should be okay. Cards are well shuffled in advance. We're going to the last second so that you're a witness. Okay, dear Libra, thank you for your patience. Here we go. Cards are well shuffled. We're going to just cut them up nice and evenly. Bless the cards. Bless the whole deck, every single card. Bless you, Libra, for being here at all. Bless Tarot Lumination and everything that we do here. Bless the computers, the cameras, and YouTube and all of it, okay? Over here, let's get started. What are you radiating? Think of yourself as a cell phone, smartphone, like an antenna. What are you transmitting when it comes to love? Okay, what are they transmitting? Okay, this is you, this is the other. What's coming out from deep inside of you? How or aware are you of this energy? What about deep inside of them? What about at the core itself, the relationship? This is the crucible. I'm hoping you see this as a bowl structure. This is the entity in which you conduct and live your relationship. So as you intimate and separate, you can do that inside the structure here. And if it has a very fragile structure, then it makes it much harder to intimate and separate effectively and get the best out of the relationship. When you are aware of the relationship, then you treat this as a business and it's very valuable, and you do the investing and the maintenance and repairs. What is blossoming out of this? Let's have a look at the weather. What's that like? Okay, 5 of Pentacles. So in some ways you might be feeling shut out. My feeling is that this is to do with the Uranus and Aries thing, where you might be getting these like aftershocks, reverberations, like you might have felt things sweet for a while, just for a few moments while Uranus was starting its journey into Taurus. But now it's flipping back for 3 months into Aries. That could be setting off like, aftershocks and things that you can't predict or understand, where you might, no matter how intimate and close you guys might appear to be, like, how people often get into this condition where they're going through the motions of relationship. They They have everything that's going on. It looks and functions like a relationship, but somewhere deep down there is a sense of impoverishment, something lacking, something very sad and missing, that it's not your fault, it's not their fault. It's just what happens in certain chapters of our lives in relationships. And you realize that you are part of the equation, Libra, and they are part of the equation. So you can't blame them, you can't blame yourself. You just say, well, this is how it is. There's something that is very lacking here, where you might feel unappreciated, unloved, to the degree that you feel that you deserve. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, Libra. You are the planet of, you are the sign of love and relationship, with Venus and all of that. What are you radiating here? Okay, well, you're doing your best. With the Page of Cups, my feeling is that, let's say, no matter how unevolved or how evolved you are, you're still doing everything you can to be the most loving person that you can be. But you're realizing that in some ways you're naive and innocent and unprepared for like the depth of what is happening here. When Uranus moved into Taurus, that might have caused some serious shock waves too, because it's heading into your eighth house of deep intimacy, deep soul bonding, which is what happens after people have formally created a bond. Now you're living, you're in each other's body, minds, hearts, and souls, joint resources. It's the scorpionic energy. It's the eighth house energy. And so now we're drifting back and forth over that cusp. You might be really, really shaken up in some ways where you are doing absolutely the best thing, not just faking it, going through the motions. You're actually doing everything that you can to be the best mate that you can be, but you're discovering how much is actually lacking and what is not working. And it's evident in the surroundings and the behaviors and the actions and the experiences of you in relationship with this significant other. But again, no harm, no judgment here. You're doing the best you can. You're being as loving as you can be, as you know how. How is that looking on the other side over here? Okay, well, that's beautiful. I think at least they appreciate that. No matter how you might be feeling it, like if it feels unappreciated or might not be as loved as you think you deserve to be, they get it. They feel loved enough to make it a viable thing for them, and they are actually radiating that love outwards as much as anyone can possibly do in a loving relationship. This is the Ten of Cups. It's a card of like almost like ultimate happiness, and it's hard earned. This is very, very, very hard earned. My feeling is that they do truly love you. They love the relationship, and they might have reached a point of culmination themselves where they can't take it any farther. We can't go any farther than who we are and how we are right now. And so that might feel to you like impoverishment of the soul, impoverishment of the relationship. It's very, very sweet, but you know how some couples grow and evolve and would just say like, man, we had a really good role. I've really loved you and benefited from you dramatically. Well, I've done the best I can for you. But let's admit it, circumstantially, the reality is that one of us or both of us or we could be looking at each other, like a couple that has really matured and evolved and grown a lot together. So much love is being exchanged back and forth one way or another, but there's something amiss where my feeling is, for remember, this is not a couples reading, where for you, Libra, you might be feeling the absence of all of this. Even though that is there, you might be feeling it because this might have been like a fully matured love where it's not worried about like your sex life or how great the money is or whatever. It's just love, and it's fully culminated like a fully blooming flower, where it's not even about like hooking up anymore. It's like it almost becomes like divine and 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 beautiful in its own way, like fully bloomed. And then you're stuck with like, okay, so is this turning into a friendship or a platonic thing? What's happening here? I don't know. I'm innocent. And they love you. It's just like, I love you. Believe me, I love you. And it's like, well, I thank you. I get it, but something's not working for me. Okay? That's what sort of I feel is going on here. And that would, to me, make sense with the Uranus thing right over here. I'm just going to point it out so it looks like I'm, not making up this stuff. This thing here is very, very destabilizing for Libras, okay? For all Libras, but especially if you're a later born Libra, okay? And as it moves over this cusp area, it's very tumultuous and unsettling and destabilizing. But we learn so much from all of these things. What are you radiating from deep down? Okay. Okay, my feeling is, again, you're doing your very, very best here. You're trying to, let's say, to me, it feels like more like an experience. And my feeling, there's a bit of, I don't want to stain this, but like a bit of resentment going on here, where it's just like, I am so generous. I have been so generous. I deserve more. And then then you suddenly shut yourself up and say, oh, that's very judgmental. Because I have to realize and acknowledge that you have been very kind and loving and generous, and maybe you need more from me. So I'm feeling very unsettled about this. And I think it's something to do, again, with the surroundings, the circumstantial energy, the weather, where it kind of doesn't make sense to me. If I was a Libra here right now, if I was being you, I would say that I'm really unsettled about the experience. How can so much love exist between two people where there is so much sense of, let's say, lack of love in the physical sense? Perhaps, on Tarot Illumination, we think about love is as love does. And so where actions count, love, by definition here, is the willing decision to actively go above and beyond your comfort zones in order to deliberately foster and nurture the spiritual growth and healing of your number one yourself and the significant other, like in a very, very intimate setting. And from there, you love and grow. Love and healing blossoms and grows from you, from the other, and from the relationship, and it permeates your world around you. That's like a fundamental tenet over here at Tarot Illumination. But my feeling is that you feel personally that there's something really out of whack. Like, well, I'm doing everything I can. I'm very kind. I'm very, very generous. And I know I've been on the receiving end of your like affections, like evidence of love. I offer evidence love. I've received evidence of love. So I, the Libra, and why am I feeling so left out, impoverishment in our relationship, left out and impoverished in our relationship dynamic, even though the love is there? So it's a big question, a lot to learn here. What are they radiating? Okay, well, something is out of whack, and my feeling is that they don't know how to handle it themselves either. There's something, again, my feeling is that they're feeling, because they're in the relationship, it's not a couples reading, but we're allowing for their presence here so that you can get what you need in terms of reflection from a significant other back to you so that you can heal and grow and evolve and continue in your love, life, and relationship world. So with the Seven of Swords here, my feeling is that they're doing everything they can to basically figure out how to get through this in a way that actually works, because part of them doesn't actually know what's going on themselves. And so they're having to act and behave in a way that in some ways they're not proud of, but they have to, like sometimes there's a question of honor where, so in other words, we have to behave in such a ways that we're not proud of. They don't really, we wouldn't advise people to do things in a certain way, but they're just literally trying to, they're doing what they have to do to, let's say, maintain and continue the relationship. And I think there's a lot of calculating that has to go along to do this. In some ways, some people see this the card of stealth, of cunning, of extreme cleverness, about how to solve and challenge problems that are almost insurmountable. And so you have to figure out very, very, let's say, almost devious ways to prevail. And just like in a chess game where you're up against it, they're totally up against it, and they're having to do some, let's say, a very sneaky or let's say calculated moves knowing that they can prevail in this. But it's all meant. My feeling is that it's all meant with very good and loving intent. I don't think any harm is intended here. They're just doing what they have to do. They're trying to literally figure out how the hell am I going to deal with the like the current weather patterns in our relationship, in my relationship with you, so that we can have greater understanding. Okay, so please also, Libra, understand this little nugget that I put out here. It applies. I'm applying this to everybody, including your significant other over here. It's not just about you. This is your reading for you, but we're allowing for them. So I'm going to say it again. It's an expansion of spiritual awareness through challenges to our most deeply buried secrets and wounds. So my feeling for you, Libra, is that you, let me go back to it. Sorry. Again, with all best of intents and all the love that they have and carry for you and for the relationship, even with all of that best of intents, there's some serious disruptions, earthquakes, aftershocks going on here, which are inevitable, and they're going to have to be dealt with. Okay, they're doing the best that they can to handle it. You're doing the best that you can. Okay, no harm is intended here. Okay, we're just trying to deal with like facts, reality. What about the relationship itself? Okay, so please, this is almost exactly what we're talking about here. Please see this as an opportunity for healing, harmonizing, where you guys, okay, you Libra, in the context of significant other, you're inadvertently receiving healing from this, whether you like it or know it or not. Put it this way, the very broad spiritual understandings, everything is exactly as it should be. How is that so? Why is that so? Answer, because it can't be any other way. We're just dealing with facts, reality, life. If there is such a huge disparity between the sense of love in terms of, let's say, how two people love each other platonically relative to, let's say, the more physical aspects of love, the passion, the hooking up, the day-to-day realities where that platonic love is not translating into, uh, you know, the material aspects of the relationship that would work for you. In other words, like if I do something for you and you're very loving to me, why am I not hooking up tonight? Why are we not hooking up? You know, it doesn't make sense. Like, what am I doing wrong? And there's this like, well, I'm trying to figure out what's my side of it too, because I don't have an answer either. I'm on my own learning thing, just like you are. I'm affected by planets and circumstances, just like you are. Like, if I'm not hooking up with you, then you're not hooking up with me, then I can feel the sense of impoverishment just as you. So, ouch. Okay, let's have a look. But this, again, you got to reveal it to heal it. If there are things that are very, very deeply buried between you guys that are being disturbed by the, let's say, the unsettling energies happening right now, then those things can be brought to the surface for healing. Okay, you got to reveal it to heal it on the on this channel. Let's have a look. Prospects, what are we creating here? Okay, well, with the King of Wands, my feeling is that it's kind of bringing the best out of you. It will eventually bring the best out of you, Libra, where it's a question of honor, deep, deep, deep honor. Like, there's no point in blaming them for anything and everything that's going wrong. Okay? And I don't see that they are blaming you for anything. They're literally just trying to cope. They have all this love. They enjoy that. You're doing everything that you can. You're trying to figure out how to like actually put words to what is out of whack, what is out of balance. Why should I keep investing more? And if so, why wouldn't I see the results that I would expect to see as such and such a person? Why are they not jumping on my bones, for example? And so it's a question of honor and integrity. And my feeling is that the dynamics that are happening this month, And the way it's disrupting, I'm going to go to something else here. Please give me a break. This is going to be a longer reading. With this new energy of the Capricorn Cancer axis coming into play, it's going to become much more prominent next year. We're getting a glimpse of it now. In some ways, this is very challenging for you because it's very disruptive regarding like the home environment here and your destiny out in the world. So what is happening for you personally, Libra, in your home? And what is happening for you out there in your world in the career? And how is that impacting your relationship? Okay? There's a lot of pressure here on you from that. So if you think of this as an angle of pressure, like a sort of very loose T-square on you, plus this thing going on, it's very loose, but that's a lot of pressure, okay? But the beauty of that, please, is see this as an opportunity to learn and grow, and don't become a victim to the energies. Don't lash out, don't blame. Just like allow things to be, allow for healing to occur, allow for in some ways that you're divinely blessed in this regard, and that you guys need to live through this and understand this and maintain the integrity of the relationship, maintain your honor with respect to the other party, and make sure that you maintain your honor with yourself, and like become a guide and an inspiration. Like even if the relationship is going off in tangents and angles that you don't understand, that because it doesn't suit you personally the way your egoic self would want, it doesn't mean you don't have a loving relationship. It just means the nature of the relationship is changing, and that's for sure. Okay, so the whole process of intimacy and separation, and separation for this month might be a little bit more like um, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do either. I don't know what to do. Like, oops. Well, we still love each other, right? Yes, I love you. I love you. Like, I got stuff to figure out. I'm seriously trying to figure things out. Okay, well, whenever you're ready. Okay, thank you. So that's sort of the storyline that I feel, all right? I hope you get something out of that, Libra. Do your cross watching. Thank you for coming to Tarot Illumination. All the best, okay? Please make good use of the Sagittarius new moon. It's going to be really good for you, okay? Bye-bye.